Hi parents, welcome back for some more word work. I know you couldn't wait to hear some more from me about word work and phonograms and learning about reading and all of those wonderful things. Um, so last week I talked about the new phonogram, multi-letter phonogram that the students were learning, the CK sound. In that it follows the rule, the 111 rule of one short vowel, one syllable or one short word, one sound at the end that makes k. If that follows that pattern, one short vowel, one syllable, one k sound at the end, then it's going to be the CK at the end. So the beginning of this coming up week is going to review that again. Then the teachers are also going to go over the idea that there's now three different sounds that they know that, or three different phonograms or phonemes that make the k sound. They all make the same sound, but it's that k sound. And oftentimes what we find is that students struggle with when to know which phonogram is it. How do I know if it's a C or a K? If I hear k at the beginning, how do I know what to write? Well, it just looks right, is what we usually say. And actually, there's a rule about that, which I'll tell you in a minute. If we hear k at the end and it follows that 111 pattern, then it's CK. If it's a long vowel sound, it's most likely going to be K, because C followed by a magic E is going to say S instead, which is a rule that they will come up to soon. So all of these spelling rules we just know as adults, but there's a rule to it, and we probably just had to memorize. There's rules in the English language, and we're going back to that first video where I talked about the logic of English. Everything in our language, everything we read, everything we write follows a pattern and follows rules. So that is all of those things. K is gonna, if you hear a k in a long vowel word like poke or cake or bike, all of those k sounds are going to be K after the long vowel, because the magic E would make the C make a different sound, because when you have CE, it says S, right? So back to we have three phonograms now that make the same k sound. C says k, K says k, and CK says k if it's the end of a short word with a short vowel. So C or K, how do we know? Well, it just looks right, is what I know. I've said it for a long time until I learned there's a rule about that. And the rule isn't written into the logic of English, but it's something that I've learned and I've shared with teachers. And once you learn it, it makes total sense. So C, the letter C, goes with words that have the vowels A, O, and U after them, like cat, cot, cup, cut, cape, cope, all of those, right? Even long vowel, those long vowel with magic E. K goes with I and E, kit, kept, kind. Now, are there exceptions to those rules? There are. Those exceptions to the rules, though, come from words that are from other countries. There's that morphology piece that we get words from other languages, and so sometimes those rules don't follow because we've adopted it from another language. This is going to be the standard. C goes with A, O, and U, and it makes this cute little cat. C goes with A, O, U. K goes with the other two. So if you hear k at the beginning and you know what the next vowel sound, what the letter is, the grapheme that goes with that vowel sound, then that tells you, oh, I'm going to write an A next. It has to be a C. Oh, I'm going to write an I next. It has to be a K. C goes with AOU, K goes with the other two. And teachers have this as a poster. Some have made it into their own poster for their classrooms, so they can review that with their students as well, because it's a spelling rule. It's true in our language, and it's once you know the rules, it's easier to follow them in writing, right? So those are the three sounds of k. The students are reviewing that in their classrooms this coming week. They're practicing when to use them. Then they are going to do that spelling analysis, which I talked about a few weeks ago. The heart and soul of our word work this year is spelling analysis. Hearing a word, really stretching it out by sounds. If they're multi-syllable words, stretching it out by syllable and then the sound, so that we're really paying attention to when we're writing words and we want to write them correctly, which we should, we stretch it out and we listen for the sounds and those patterns that we've been practicing. So their spelling analysis this coming week will include the CK words. It also includes another multi-letter phonogram, double E, which says EE. So it's like they're also being introduced to the a vowel team, EE, and that long E pattern. And there are a few words in some of the grade levels that might intersperse those. But they're also learning about, so if I had the word week, is it going to be CK or is it going to be a different letter? Oh, week doesn't follow that 111 rule. Week has to be a K because I hear a K at the end, but it's a long vowel, not a short vowel. So they're going to be doing all of that. In 5th grade, in addition to that, they're learning that there's also a suffix ick, IC. So that is the only time a C is at the end and makes a K sound is when it's with I, and it is a suffix ick that you add to words to make them adjectives. So an athlete is athletic, right? We've turned the word athlete, that noun, into an adjective by adding ick at the end. So they are going to be learning about that as well, but they're ready for that, I think. But it's, so ick at the end of a word, if you hear ick, it's not going to be IK, like fantastic. It's IC. So lots of learning about spelling and patterns this week, which I get super excited about because, again, we're linking that reading and writing to make sure that students are understanding. As always, if you have questions or want to talk about word work and literacy, contact me. I'm happy to talk.